Hello. Now let's get started with lesson 12. Now, this lesson is basically a sum up of everything that you've learned. We are going to learn how to transform one form of sentence into another, which is maybe changing a simple sentence into compound form or complex form or vice versa. And this would help you to apply whatever you've learned with respect to, English as a language, with respect to sentences, that how we use linkers and we form compound or complex sentences. So let's get started. Now, we have a simple sentence: we must work very hard to win the first prize. It has a subject and the rest of the sentence is a predicate. And it's only one sentence. Now, if we have to convert into compound, we have to break it into two sentences and either use a coordinating or a subordinating conjunction. He must work very hard or he will not win the prize. So we are using the coordinating conjunction or. Now let's look at another. Notwithstanding his hard work, he did not succeed. We're going to work, now we're going to break it into parts to make it compound and probably use a subordinating conjunction like yet. He worked hard, yet did not succeed. Okay, so let's take another example. The teacher punished the boy for disobedience, where disobedience is my abstract noun. Now, how do we change into compound sentence? We change the abstract noun into adjective. The boy was disobedient, so the teacher punished him. Right? So obviously, when we are changing one form into another, then the parts of speech of that particular word also may change because we have now made a different sentence, ensuring that the context of the sentence remains the same. Let's try to convert compound sentences to simple. He finished his homework and put away his books. So now, how do we form a simple sentence? Having finished his homework, he put away his books. When I have to make a simple sentence, obviously I can use subject only once. So I have to remove you know, my subject uh, from before finished and put it at the back. That's how I make my simple sentence. So another compound sentence is, not only did his father reward him on his achievement, but his mother too. So when I break it into simple, I don't have to use this not only and but. Besides his father rewarding him on his achievement, his mother also did the same. Or you can just make a simple sentence that his father and mother both rewarded him on his achievement. But that would probably become another compound sentence. Yes. So for simple, I think this is the best way. Now, another compound sentence is, you must either pay the bill at once or return the goods. It basically constitutes of two separate parts. And when I change it to simple sentence, I put the word fail, a different form of, I probably introduce my own vocabulary to change the compound into simple sentence. Failing prompt payment, the goods must be returned by you. So one more example is, we must eat or we cannot live, which means we must eat to live. It means the same. Let's look at a few more examples. A simple sentence can be converted to a complex sentence by expanding a word or phrase into a subordinate clause. This clause may be a noun, adjective, or adverb clause. Let's try to understand this with the help of few examples. He confessed his crime. He confessed that he was guilty. So I cannot use the same word crime. I have to use a clause, a group of words, because I have to have two clauses since I'm making a complex sentence. Similarly, he bought his uncle's library. He bought the library which belonged to his uncle. I have to break it into two parts. On the arrival of the mails, I will leave home. I will leave home as soon as the mails arrive. So here also I have two different clauses. He worked hard to pass the exam. He worked hard so that he might pass the examination. So we have my subject repeated, you know, t- So in the complex sentence, my subject is coming two times because there are two different clauses. Whereas in simple, I only use it once and combine the information, but retaining the same meaning. Now, how do we convert complex sentences into simple sentences? We do it by using an adjective clause. He died in the village where he was born. Where did he die? Like, what kind of village was it? Where he was born. So I change this complex sentence, which constitutes of two sentences. He died in the village where he was born. I use an adjective clause, okay, and he died in his native village. So where he was born is replaced by one single word, which is native. Men who have risen by their own exertions are always respected. So men who have risen by their own exertion, the whole group of words clause is taken as one single word. Self-made men are always respected. That's the only way you can convert complex into simple, because in complex you have a group of words where they are using clauses to describe, but in simple you cannot describe in detail because you cannot use group of words. You only have to explain it with the help of one single word. So you have to use one single word which is equivalent to those group of words. We came upon a hut where a peasant lived, which means he lived in the hut. That means it is his hut. We came upon a peasant's hut. Youth is the time when the seeds of character are sown. So seeds of character are sown means you're trying to form the character. So that is why we combine these group of words to write. Youth is the time for the formation of the character. Now let's try to look at adverb clauses, how they are changed to single words to convert complex sentences into simple sentences. The teacher was angry that she had not carried out his orders. The teacher was angry at his not having carried out his orders. So we are combining information. We are avoiding the repetitive usage of the subject to make it a simple sentence. I'm pushing my business wherever I can find an opening. I'm pushing my business in every possible direction. It means the same but different words. He will not pay unless he's compelled, which means he will pay only under compulsion. It means the same. You have succeeded better than you hoped. That means you have succeeded beyond your hopes. This was not what you hoped. Probably you achieved more than what you expected. Now let's try to convert few compound sentences to complex sentences. Search his bag and you will find the wallet. So in this case we are using a coordinating conjunction and we are combining two different clauses, independent clauses. If you search his bag, you will find the wallet. To make it into complex, we made it a conditional sentence using an if. The next sentence is do as I tell you or you will regret it. This is again, I'm using coordinating conjunction or and combining two independent clauses. And I use again a conditional word. Unless you do as I tell you, you will regret it. He saw the danger but did not stop. Although he saw the danger, he did not stop. So here I'm using although as my linker to form a complex sentence. He aimed at winning the prize and worked hard. He worked hard so that he might win the prize. So when it was a compound sentence, I had combined two different sentences using a coordinating conjunction. But when I made it a complex sentence, I made one of them dependent on other by introducing a pronoun he, and you need to know what is he referring to. So now the next sentence is he had to sign or be executed. Now I can change it to a conditional sentence easily. If he had not signed, he would have been executed. I hope you're getting your concepts of all these different kind of sentences clear, and how to change one form into another to create that variety in your writing and variety in your speaking. Now, how do you convert complex sentences to compound? I'm glad that he has recovered from illness. He has recovered from illness, and I'm glad of it. I have found the book that I had lost. So, if you break it into parts, it will not make complete sense. I had lost a book, but I have found it. As soon as he got the telegram, he left in a taxi. He got the telegram and immediately he left in a taxi. So, can you see in a compound we are using coordinating conjunctions like and but in complex we are using linkers like as, although, unless, and if. So, therefore, it is not possible to break the sentences into parts because if you take the linker away, then probably the two clauses alone will not make complete sense. He worked hard that he might win the prize. He aimed at winning the prize and worked hard. So we had done this, sentence, previously where we were changing compound to complex. So here we are coming back to from complex to compound sentence. So that's the end of lots of examples that you have gone through on how to convert one form of sentence into another. I hope it was useful and you will have to practice a lot in your writing and speaking. That's how you'll be able to improve your English. So, okay, so thank you so much for your time. Happy learning.